Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And you're listening to the Otterly Owlsome podcast. Who knows what we'll talk about? I know. So they're digging, and then they came up here and were like, did we hit a water pipe? And I was like, well, we have sprinklers. So.
Oh my gosh. Are they using the Ditch Witch?
They are, and that's why the guy came up. So I was putting in Do Not Disturb, so I don't have the things. He came up, he was like, I would rather dig this by hand than hit a water line.
Yeah.
So he was like, I need to know. I was like, well, we have sprinklers, but I don't think they go that far. So now they're not doing too bad. Not a John.
When they did ours, they ran the fiber and left it on top of the ground and connected it to the house. And so it was like in the neighbor's yard. They have lawnmowers and everything. And so I was like freaking out. And then the people that came to bury it came like a week later. And we were gone. And I spotted them on the camera on my phone. I'm like, gotta get home. They're about to start digging. Yeah. Get home, and like they're already done by the time we finally get home. It was so fast.
Yeah.
They had dug through the neighbor's yard, through our yard. I was just like, oh, thank God they didn't hit anything.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, they're putting it on a different side of the house, and then they're gonna have to rewire something in the house, I guess. I don't know. I'm just excited.
Yeah, and so what about your wire to your office? What are you going to do about that?
I'm going to ask them. They're outside, so I'm going to ask them in a little bit. So I've been in meetings since 8.
Ooh, lucky you.
Yeah, I did
2.5 hours of meetings. What's that?
One was a workshop, so.
You still seem in better health?
Yes, I feel so much better. And because I couldn't, I'm trying to start a new, better habits. I got a habit tracker on my phone, and it really does help though, because I have satisfaction of checking something off the list.
Right. Yeah.
So I've been getting up early so I can start working out again next week, and because I'm trying to make sure all my health is good.
Yeah, it's amazing when you don't feel well. You kind of have this moment, or I should speak for myself, where you're like, all those workouts I skipped where I could have been staying healthy, and I kind of beat myself up about it, and you're frozen again.
Yeah, when I don't feel good, it just doesn't work. So, and then with that, I couldn't walk without cramping, so.
Yeah, that when you told me the cramping, I was just like, ow, which is probably an electrolyte thing, right? You're probably just
I drank so much
sweating so much
juice and Gatorade, and that's just one of the symptoms of the new variant is your whole body just hurts, and when I would try and walk, I would almost fall down because my legs would cramp up. I was like, I don't need to be doing anything in a gym with heavy objects or a treadmill.
And I assume you haven't been walking because it's so hot out, right?
Yeah, we have a treadmill, so if I walk, it's on the treadmill. But yeah, we're trying to leash train the little one.
She just left behind you.
Yeah, and we haven't really been able to because it rained. It's been raining.
Did
you get any hurricane?
So when you messaged yesterday about the rain, it had been cloudy all day. And then right after you messaged, David messaged about it. And I'm like, don't these people talk to each other? And when he messaged about it, it had just started misting. And then all of a sudden I'm in the meeting and it just starts pouring, just pouring rain. And then it was it would slack off, and then it'd be pouring again and slack off. So I think it was the outer bands that were hitting us. But it stopped about 7 o'clock. And then we were fine.
That's not bad. Yeah, it just rained all day. So, but I saw on the news this morning, Charleston got 9 feet.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of feet.
I know. It's taller than basketball players.
I was thinking feet like this, toes. But if there's only 9, there's an extra foot somewhere. We gotta go find it.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a weird brain.
I'm just hoping my peppers didn't drown.
Yeah, my peppers all fell over. So I'm having a weird... Okay, so my peppers have been a total failure this year. and I think it's slugs, and they're like eating the base of the plant and the leaves, and I've had other plants that are having issues, and I've been putting out slug stuff to get rid of them. And so my next thing I'm going to try, apparently you can put a cup of beer and kind of put it in the ground, and they'll be attracted to the smell of it, and then they'll fall in and drown. So I'm going to try that either today or at some point.
I need to go let them outside.
Now she's drinking water.
That's fair. My sourdough starter is growing.
Ooh. Oh, you haven't baked anything yet?
No, because it takes like 7 days to get like the starter going.
Nice. The yeast are multiplying, yes.
There's no yeast. It's just flour and water.
Well, there's got to be yeast.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
All I was told to do is put a half cup flour and a half cup water, mix it up, cover it up, put it in a hot spot. The next day you feed it again.
What are you feeding it?
A cup of flour, a half cup flour, half cup of water, and then it starts to like bubble and grow.
Well, that's what yeast does. Like, how is it doing it without yeast?
Bacteria?
So did you like spit in it or something? They put the bacteria in?
No, and you have to use filtered water, so I don't really understand it, but science, you know.
Cooking science.
I love baking. So I was like, really, David's like, why are we doing this? I was like, because I want to.
Yeah, well, like, especially if you don't have to mess with the yeast and all that stuff. That's pretty cool.
No.
So is that what makes it sour?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting.
I'll mail you some of my homemade sourdough.
Wait till it gets cooler outside, otherwise it's gonna like get all hot and mushy in the mail truck.
That's true. Not if I put it like in a box. Like, do not smush.
Do not smush. We got something the other day, and I pulled it out of the box, and it was like on fire. I'm just like, good grief! What was it sitting on the dashboard, like as you're driving around town?
Yeah, because our house has like our driveway's on this side, and then you have to like come around to our front porch, and then it's the steps. Like half the time, our Amazon drivers just leave it outside the garage, which we never know is dropped off. And so they'll be like, "We dropped off your order," and we're like, "Where?"
Yeah. We have a longer driveway, and there's like a neighbor has an office like mine.
Oh.
So it looks like it's kind of associated with it, so they'll leave it there, and I'm just like, where is this package? And we're like wandering around the neighborhood.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's annoying.
So I'm trying to get my CMA points for continuing education right now. Okay. And trying to get, because now with partner status, you have to have so many micro certs. And so I'm doing the flow designer one because I don't have a micro cert. But it's so funny because the lab made me think of you. So it's a lab where it's a social media something. But anytime there is like a person's product mentioned, they go log in their social media monitor of, hey, someone gave us a shout out. Here's the YouTube channel. Here's the product. Here's how it was perceived of good or bad. And I was like, Justin would be all over this.
I know. I want to take this lab now. I
know. I was like, what a cool use case for this. But just the little social media management thing, I was like, this is Justin.
I have the flow designer cert. They must have updated it since I had it. Yeah. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my 5 to help us with partner status and get my CMA points. So
very nice. Go CMA points. Yeah, there was some CMA drama on LinkedIn last week.
What?
Yeah, so like Russ Shear posted a post about he tried to get into, it was the CMA or CTA program in the registration, and like it went live and then immediately it was full.
Well, CTA is first come, first serve.
Okay, so maybe that was the one he applied to. And so he was saying, like, I just clicked on this and it just opened up. How did it fill up so quick? And he stumbled across what we already knew, is that there's limited spots and that partners are being incentivized to have CMAs and CTAs. And he's kind of like, well, what about everybody else who, you know, who wants to do it for their career? And I was like, that's a good point. Yeah, it's like,
it is, but I mean, my guys, so we have 2 of my guys are in the program. they both got up at midnight to go in, or whatever time it opened. Because it was like early. They literally got up and enrolled because
And
they
got
wanted
in.
a spot. So
That's good. That's good. That gets it very competitive.
I mean, they were like, if you guys are giving us the opportunity, we're going to make sure we get in. And so they
Right.
both did. And they both started 2 weeks ago. No, a month ago. So they've been in a month.
What is going on in your house?
The dogs are fighting. Hold on, let me mute myself.
It almost sounded like they were talking to each other. Like,
So they like to fight each other. And then whenever they stop. The funny thing is, like, Riley loves to play BALL. Loves it. Like, lives
Right.
for it. And will play until she almost throws up. So Rory has not yet cared. She likes to get the ball, but then she just wants to keep it away from Riley. And so when we play in the house, because like yesterday we could only play in the house because of the rain, Riley would be ready. Rory would be doing whatever. We'd throw the ball. They'd both take off, but then Riley would slow down. Rory would take off and slide across the wood floor past the ball. Riley would just pick it up and bring it. And so David was like, Riley's like a shark. Just wait.
that is hilarious.
So
You go with all your energy. Did I send you the TikTok of the dog that was just like...
yeah.
And it had the little voiceover? Yeah, that was hilarious. That's what that reminds me of.
But anyway, so yes, my lab was good. It made me think of you, and I still have to take the test, but I finished all the labs yesterday.
Any other observations about Flow Designer now that you've kind of gotten into it?
I still don't like it. It just seems so... there's just so many clicks and so many, like the other was just so easy. You drag, you drop, you done. This one has pills, and it's too much. I think it is more difficult and too many steps because I had reusable subflows in the other one. It's too much to me.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, I get it, and it's fine, and I get why they did it, because if you have, like, people who aren't developers, it works wonderfully for them.
Right.
And if that's all I'd ever been trained on, then I'd probably not care. But now knowing,
Knowing there's a different way, there's a faster way. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think one of to support what you're saying too, a number of clicks is a lot, but also there's parts of it that are slow.
yeah.
Like you gotta wait for the spokes to load up and then find the one you're looking for, or like you gotta save and then you gotta activate, and it just takes time. So in Vancouver, there's supposed to be these performance improvements, like significant
But
performance
even when I'm
improvements.
on the record, because that's the other thing that drives me crazy about flows is I'll like click request approval and nothing happens until like 5 seconds later. And I know that seems so insignificant, but the other one was instantaneous. And so I would be like, why isn't it working? Like the first time I did Flow Designer. And still to this day, like there's a lag compared to the old workflows, but it just drives me nuts.
For
So
my
I think I'll
benefit,
give it away.
I lost you at quick request approval. I lost you right there.
There's like a 5-second lag where the old one, it was instantaneous. And when you use Flow Designer, it's like I click request approval and then it just kind of sits there. And then all of a sudden the little this field changed bubble pops up and then I have to reload to get the list of approvers, and where the other one, it was just...
Okay. I lost you.
Problems.
I lost you at request approval again, but I think I know what you're saying. When the drop down, the action to request approval, it loads it onto the canvas, and then you're waiting on it so you can do something.
No,
right?
I meant if I'm like on a change record and I hit request approval, there's a lag.
Oh.
Yeah. Like the old workflow, it was just, it reloaded the form and everything was there. When you use Flow Designer, when it does that reload, it's still not there. And then it happens. And it drives me nuts. So, I think it's gotten a little better, but that lag used to drive me insane. So, I don't do demos as much anymore, so I only now have it in my workshops. Because I did change this morning. So It's a real world example.
Yeah, you were like right there. I know when because I use flows in the UI actions all the time,
Yeah.
and when you set them up, you can specify whether they're synchronous or asynchronous.
Yeah.
And it sounds like what you were clicking on is synchronous, meaning you're having to wait.
It's out of the box, so yeah.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah.
It's fine.
So Chris set up integration with big data, big something. It's in Google Cloud.
Big Fix?
It's not. Was it Big Fix? It might have been Big Fix. He was loading some vendors or something, and he made a video and did it all that. And I noticed he used Flow Designer, so I was like, "Oh, I'm really excited to use Flow Designer." I'm a big Flow Designer fan, and then I think Dan hopped in about something like he's not a fan, and then I realized I was like, "Yeah, you could probably script this in 30 minutes or less or whatever versus how long it takes to build out the Flow Designer." But yeah, I think there's pros and cons, and you've hit on a couple of the cons. Yeah. What I was going to say with the performance, with Vancouver, they're saying there's improved performance, and so far while I've been using it, because I use it quite extensively in my PDI, it's been very poor performance because they've got this new Now Assist thing that's supposed to recommend the next action in your flow, but they haven't turned on that for PDIs. So it's sitting there like working, and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for it to load, and it's just nothing happens, and you're never going to get a recommendation. So I'm like really irritated with that particular feature at the moment. Yeah. Have you had a chance to poke around? I've done the
course. I have to take the exam. We'll see if I pass.
So you're done. You're completely done with the course.
Yeah, I'm done with the course. I just have to take I'm doing that in our required, harassment and cybersecurity training.
Yes. Yeah. Got to do that too.
Yes.
I like to wait to the last minute because they wait to the last minute to send it to us.
Yeah. I forgot, and then I got the email yesterday. I was like, oh, dang it. So I have it going while I'm doing work.
Yeah.
The actors are phenomenal.
No, they're not. They're horrible. The guy sitting below the woman on the ladder, I just hate that. I forget what he says. It's inappropriate, but...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to look at anything Vancouver related yet?
I have not.
No.
I know. I have a job that gets in the way.
And I know you don't do anything in your spare time, so yeah.
I don't.
You gotta make time for it during the 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, whatever.
I wish I worked 8 to 5, but yeah. I think if my day didn't spill over, I might sit on the couch with my iPad and read release notes, but my day starts early, ends late, and so I try to shut off at 5, but I still have my email on my phone, still got Teams on my phone, so.
Yeah, in fact, I sent you a message last night and you were super responsive. I was like, whoa, she's actually looking at email.
I know. I was working.
So the guy, we won't say his name, but the guy that called me last night, he called and I screened it. My phone has a screening thing on it.
Yeah.
And then it said something about, I'm calling for Justin Meadows, something blah, blah, blah podcast. And I was like, did I accidentally put my phone number in our podcast or something? And I'm like, no, decline the call. And it ended up being someone I actually knew, but...
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't answer numbers I don't know.
I'm saying, the spam has been ridiculous.
Yeah. For some reason, apparently I own a business that can get a giant refund.
But you have to put $100 in to get the refund or something.
I don't know. I won't answer the phone, but they leave a voicemail almost daily. And I'm like, I have blocked, and so they just call from a different number.
Yeah, the voicemail I get all the time is something about a legal matter, and they've tried contacting me, and I haven't been responsive. I'm like, well, I have a mailing address if this was a true legal matter, which I believe is how that system works.
You want to hear the craziest one I got recently? So we can edit this out if it's not appropriate. I was sitting there, I got a number, and they left a voicemail. One of my exes, who I have not been with in 13 years, so over a decade, it was like, we're trying to reach insert name. You know, we've tried to reach you. This is your last call, or we will be pressing charges. And it was like, I was like, I don't even know where this man-child is anymore. It's been 13 years. Like, I have him blocked on social media. Like, he was harassing me on social media. Like, even his family is blocked on social media. So, like, I have absolutely no idea where he is, what he does, if he's alive. I have no idea. I was just like, what kind of phone? Like, how did my number get attached to him that we literally have been separated since 2011, I think, was when we broke up? Like, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Still have my phone number associated to you. And yeah.
I bet you it's a debt collector. They are ruthless in trying to find anyone who will.
Either way, I'm like, not my problem anymore. Delete.
Yeah.
Not my. And then they called again. They were like, you have missed your whatever. We will be finding you. There's a warrant. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, delete.
Well, if they take you to jail, Allison, give me a call. I'll help out.
I will. But I'm like, I have not been with him in 13 years. 12 years, however long. So, yeah.
Just be thinking about your mugshot. How do you want to look? Do you, our blue steel? You want to do blue steel?
Maybe. I gotta get my best angle. I'll be like, hold on.
Oh, man. This is fun. I like our midweek catch up like this. And I am so looking forward to you not freezing on our next episode.
Well, that's if the fiber's in. So they came out and marked it on Friday of last week or Monday. They're digging it today, but I don't know if that means it starts today. I don't know.
Is it AT&T?
No, it's called Carolina Connect.
So it's a local shop?
Yeah, AT&T isn't out here. So,
Interesting.
well, they are, but not for fiber. So
Carolina
I've
Connect.
submitted multiple times for AT&T. I'm like, come to my address.
I mean, they've got tons of money. The government just keeps handing them money to do this. I don't know what's taking so long.
His mom has it. She lives
I got it before you did, which is surprising. So,
Well,
you're nearer to a big city than I am, I think.
Yeah, we're like 25 minutes from Augusta and 45 from Columbia. So, I mean, Asheville's a big city, though. Like,
not really. Like, if you think about it, it's not
all
that
the
big.
hipsters need their fiber.
Yeah.
So they can sit on their barrel at the local coffee shop and drink out of a mason jar
And beg for change.
and check their email.
Yep. And apply their patchouli. Oh my gosh, we're gonna so get taken down. Oh man.
I do have to fill you.
Well,
in
any
on
final
things
words before we head over to our town hall meeting?
I'm back.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
I said, are there any final words before we head over to our town hall meeting?
No, but you need to go take that lab so you can see what it is.
Yeah, I definitely do. I wonder if I could just take the lab and not have to do the whole course again.
Yeah, you can. You just click through it.
Steal their code and put it in my instance. I'll make a
I
video
think
of
it
that.
was like, Justin needs this.
I need something to manage the damn comments. That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Because
no,
the way...
It was very cool. Like, you need to go do the lab.
Okay. I will definitely check it out just for you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks,
All right.
Allison.
Bye.